Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to get this look. It's nice and light for summer, not too heavy, and it's pretty simple. Come get ready with me. If you want to know how to get this look, please keep watching. Going in with a lighter color concealer in the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I'm going to use this to conceal under my eyes and kind of highlight. So I'm using the Radiant Creamy Concealer, which is much lighter than the soft focus that I usually use. And again, because it's summer, I'm going to cover a few blemishes on my chin. Using a damp mini beauty blender, I'm going to just blend that all in under my eyes. Again, a nice thin layer. You don't want anything cakey. The humidity and the heat will just make your face feel like you're caked on, and we don't want anybody melting in the sun. I'm gonna blend in my chin, and then I'm gonna go in and blend the other eye. Going in with Bobbi Brown's Pale Yellow Setting Powder, I'm going to just pat it along everywhere that I put the concealer. I don't use loose powder usually. I feel like the pressed powder works a little bit better on my skin. It doesn't give me like a crepey under eye appearance. It just sets everything in place and it doesn't feel too cakey. Using my favorite Rodial contour powder, I'm going to be applying this right underneath my cheekbones, kind of in the hollows of my cheekbones. I'm going to use a light hand. I'm not pressing. There's not too much product on there. You don't want this to look like your face is striped. Yes, I'm going under my double chin or any kind of shadow of where a double chin would be. Using a flat brush, I'm going to go in and contour my nose. I got a new technique, guys. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to apply it where the shadows of my nose normally would be, just a little bit more towards the center, and this is going to make it narrow. You have to start by your eyebrows though, because this is where your bone structure naturally curves. And if you just do your nose and leave the top part of your nose wide, it's going to look just silly. And now to make the tip of my nose look a little bit thinner, I'm going to continue that line that I just finished, all the way extending to the corner of my nostril. It's going to look crazy. And now to finish, I'm going to add some contour powder under my nose in a V, because I want it to look slim. You want the edges of the V to kind of fall in line with those first two lines that you drew down the center of your nose. To narrow your nose out even more, I'm going to just move the shadow of my nostrils inward a little bit. This is going to make it look thinner all the way around. Okay, now this part is really important. Using a fluffier shadow brush, I'm going to work that in. Work it, baby. So you're going to take your brush, and I'm not moving the product towards the center of my nose. I'm not moving it towards my cheek. I'm just tracing the lines that I just made, just to blend it in. If you start making small circles or rubbing it all over the place, not only are you going to mess up your contour, but your nose is just going to look dirty, and that's not a good look for anybody. It's going to look really subtle now, but trust me, it'll pop once you add in your highlight. Going in with Tarte's Exposed Highlighter, I'm going to just add a little teeny tiny line to the center of the bridge of my nose and a little bit to the tip of it. And I'm going to blend it in with my finger to make it look a little bit more natural. So the highlight is where you're going to draw the eye in, and those shadows that you just created will make your nose look snatched. Going in with my butter bronzer, I'm going to add in some warmth. I'm going to start applying it from my hairline to the center of my face. Now, always start at the hairline because that's where it needs to be the darkest, and it will gradually get lighter towards the center of your face. That's really what you try to do when you contour and highlight. You try to bring light to the face. So in order to bring light, you need a little bit of warmth and you need a little bit of contour. I'm going to add a little bit on my chin and blend that baby in. Don't forget to go down your neck and on your ears. using L'Oreal True Match in the shade Cocoa. It's actually a powder, like a face powder, for deeper skin tones, but I like it as a bronzer because I feel like it looks more natural and it doesn't look as orange. I use the shade Cocoa, which is their coolest shade. Make sure you get that product into the hairline and buff it in. You're kind of creating an ombre because the butter bronzer is a little bit lighter and this is definitely darker. Again, it's summer, so I'm gonna go a little heavier on the bronzer because that's the look I'm going for. Now for blush, I'm gonna be using Bobbi Brown's Cheek Illuminator in Santa Barbara, just applying it to the apples of my cheeks. We're not making stripes up the sides. This color is awesome. It's like a peachy pink color with flecks of gold. It actually, I think, is a dupe for NARS Orgasm blush, and everybody looks good in it. Going back in with the Tarte Exposed highlighter, I'm going to be applying it to the highest points of my cheekbones and maybe dragging it a little bit up towards my forehead where the light would normally hit, using the Sigma Tapered Highlighter brush. This highlighter by Tarte is just beautiful. It's like a champagne color and it's not glittery. It's not going to make you look shiny. It's just going to bring just such a nice, like, youthful glow to your face. Gonna add a little bit of a highlight on my Cupid's bow. Next, I'm gonna be using Surratt Beauty's eyeshadow. This is like a really light peach color. I'll link all of the product names in the description box below because this particular brand, a lot of their color names are in French and I'm not even going to attempt to butcher that. So I'm going to apply this from lid all the way to my brow. Next, I'm going to go in with a really light tan color and I'm going to add this all over my crease. It doesn't even look like I'm putting much on, but trust me, it makes the best transition when you go from a light to a dark, and it's going to help everything blend in a little bit better. This is like a light tan. A little bit underneath. Picking up that bronzer I used earlier, I'm going to be applying that a little bit more concentrated on my crease just to deepen that color up. I'm going to be primarily focusing on the outer corner of my crease. Of course, I'm going to blend it in more towards the inner corner, but this is just going to deepen up the color a little bit. A little bit underneath on the outer corners. Next, for the lid, I'll be using Bobbi Brown's Eye Trio in Beach. This is all gold colors. Using the darkest, I'm going to be applying that to the outer third of my eyelid using a patting motion. So patting is just going to pack that product on without blending it all over the place. You kind of want it to stay put in this outer edge because the lid is such a small space to work with. Going in with that medium color gold, I'm going to go into the inner third of my eye. The colors are really similar, but there are definitely subtle differences, and that will show when it's all put together. Using the Tarte Exposed highlighter, I'm going to go and apply that to the center of my eyelid. This is going to make everything look like it pops a little bit more. You want that in the center because that's where the light naturally hits. And I'm going to blend it all in. Remember, patting, not so much wiping. A little bit to my tear ducts. I feel like that makes me look more awake. Using my Tarte Black Liquid Eyeliner Marker, I'm going to be applying just a plain wing. I always start in the center because I feel like, I feel like it just is easier for me. I use really short strokes, and that's going to make sure I know exactly where I'm putting it. You don't want to just do what you see on a lot of other YouTube videos where people just do one swipe and flick it out like, OMG, this is so easy, because it's really not. It takes a lot of patience, and if you go slowly though, you shouldn't make too many mistakes. You don't need a really steady hand if you make these tiny little dots. Okay, I'm gonna just add my wing. flicking it out towards the outer corner of my eyebrow and connecting it. So you want to draw that line that covers your lash line first and then the wing. I feel like that makes it a lot easier. Now for my favorite part, lashes. I'm going to be adding a few coats of mascara first. Right now this is the Too Faced Better Than Sex, which is one of my all-time favorites. But I'm going to add a few coats just to find all of my lashes first, and then I'm going to put on a full set of individual lashes. And you don't have to do lashes. You can stop at mascara and be totally good to go with this look. But if you want to be a little extra, add on your lashes. If you want to know how to do that, I have a video that explains how I do mine, and you can find that on my channel page. Add a little bit of mascara to the bottom. That's my setup for my lashes, and I'll be right back to do that. Okay, once the lashes are on, I'm going to be adding black liner to my waterline, and I'm only adding it to the outer half of my lower lash line. I feel like this makes my eyes look a little bit more almond shaped because they're really, really round. Next, I'm going to be using BH Cosmetics Brow Trio. I'm going to be brushing them up and starting with the lightest color. And I'm going to be going back and forth just to make sure they are shaded in the same. So I'm going to be using that middle color with the angled brush that they provided, which is kind of nice because I never really use the brush that's provided with a product. I end up using my own, but this brush works with really well. Starting at the bottom, I'm going to be applying really light strokes of that lighter color and then filling in any like bald spots I have. You don't want to go crazy with product on your brows. You can always add more, and it's not easy to take off brow product. And once you go too far, oof, it's not pretty. Okay. Next, going in with a darker color, because this trio has 2 powders and 1 pomade. So I'm using the darker powder to fill in the rest. And I've been using Latisse on my bald spot on my eyebrow. If you guys remember from my last Get Ready With Me, I have like a weird funky bald spot on one of my eyebrows, and I've been adding a little bit of Latisse, and after just a couple weeks, it's been working. So yay for that. Okay, I am going to be using a little bit of pomade underneath because I think I plucked a little bit too much underneath. I really don't pluck my eyebrows a lot, but one hair can do some damage. Okay, next I'm going to be trying Lip Sense. This is kind of a new product. Someone sent it to me to give it a try, and I have to say that it really does last. There's a special way to apply it though, which I thought was a little bit tricky. This is the color Pink Champagne, by the way. So you have to apply it in one coat, and you can't touch your lips together. Open your mouth. You're not supposed to touch your lips together while it dries. For whatever reason. Oh, there you go. I remembered. So 3 coats, 1, 2, and this is that last one. Now, you could just leave it at this, but I add lip pencil because I feel like it creates a little bit more dimension. And I use the Lip Sense as a nude base to a little bit of a highlight. I actually it's almost like contour and highlighting my lips. I'm gonna add a lighter color, and then I'm just gonna blend it all together with a brush. And that Lip Sense is just gonna keep it locked on. Let me tell you, this look lasted for the entire day. I actually woke up with some lipstick still on. Through eating, going to the beach, it stayed. So it gets a thumbs up from me. Going in with Surat lip gloss. This is the color Etoile. And again, it's French, and I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but it's really pretty. It's clear, it's not sticky at all, and it doesn't rub the Lip Sense off, which is cool. Hit it with the NYX Dewy Setting Spray, and that's it. Thanks guys for getting ready with me. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.